Oh,
So it's a photo of me.
yeah,
Because even though I'm a city girl, I can still be a farmer.
right.
Hey guys, saddle up because today we're talking Farmer Wants a Wife, Season 3, and we have a very special guest with us today, Amy from Season 2.
That's right. How you doing, Amy?
Hey, I'm good. So good to see you guys and talk with you. How are you?
We're doing great. It's great. We're glad to have you on here.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't remember, Amy was on Farmer Ty's ranch there. So, and unfortunately, she didn't find love on the farm, but, you know, his loss is our gain today. So, welcome, Amy. Thanks for coming on.
Doesn't seem like too many people find love on the farm. So,
I know. Well, two of them pretty good considering the odds. So,
Yeah, so a new season. We actually have a new host. Jennifer Nettles isn't here.
yeah, Brad
So-
Paisley's wife now.
Yeah, and I remember her from Father of the Bride 1 and 2. I love those movies.
Oh yeah, they were great.
my favorite.
What do you think about this new host?
I love her. If I told my sister actually, I was like, oh my goodness, if she showed up. I mean, of course, I love Jennifer Nettles, but I was like, oh my gosh, if she was there, I'd be fangirling. I am obsessed with Father of the Bride. It would be amazing. But I love her. Farmer they do a good job in picking their host. So yeah, top quality. She did great. I love her.
And we also have 4 new farmers. What do we think about these farmers?
I'm still trying to get everybody's name straight. We got what? We got Jay, John, Matt, and what was the other
Colton.
one? Colton. There you go. Okay.
Amy, do you got a favorite farmer or one that you like right now?
Oh my goodness, they're all so cute. There's some good-looking farmers this season. I think my favorite, I really like Matt. I like he's down to earth. He's so cute, but he's still like seems down to earth and kind of shy. And I love John. They're all cute. I'm so excited. I'm excited to watch this season.
Yeah.
They seem like good guys, like very good down to earth.
If you had to pick one, though, I'm putting you on the spot. If you had to pick
Oh
one, which
no.
one would you be on?
Oh my goodness. I think I would have to pick Matt. The dimples. It's the dimples.
I mean, and that's what all the women were focusing on, right? They were all commenting on his nipples. So
Yeah, I think he's the best looking one out of the bunch. I don't know.
I mean, I think y'all got robbed, man. There's a bunch of good looking dudes this season.
I know. They're pretty cute. Yeah. Yeah. Matt, no, they all seem like good guys. It's cute. I like how Farmer Wants a Wife, they truly pick farmers and they seem so kind of uncomfortable and they're not like these, they're not used to the spotlight. So I like how, they're kind of uncomfortable and awkward. It's cute.
Well, or we had that spot where Colton was it Colton? It was like, hey, can I ask her if she's a felon? I was like, that's actually probably a pretty damn good question, But
And Colton, he's kind of shy. He stumbles with his words. He's the one that also has
Yes.
the 2-year-old. So
yep.
Yes. He's like a younger Thai version. He's like he stumbles his words and gets all like nervous and uncomfortable. He's funny. Yeah, I like that. And I liked how Matt, that was really respectful, how he said, "Can I stand when I meet her?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is true gentleman."
Oh, yeah.
I do love those moments where they kind of show you like them getting nervous and prepared to do like the one-on-ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool that they show that side of it.
But whenever he asks, hey, can I ask her if she's a felon? Which that's a legit question. Hey, you ever been to jail? Right? You're trying to get to know somebody, and they were like, no. I was like, at the same time, it's kind of like, why are they? Is there questions off limits? Right? Like, if I want to ask a chick if she's been to jail before, then why can't I ask her that? So. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we hope they passed their background check before
Right,
they
exactly.
got casted. But hopefully they checked on that. I know there's very extensive research. You can't be a felon in a film or reality show, that's for sure. But no, I agree. I was kind of bummed because when I saw my season air, I actually had a talk with Ty and it didn't get aired. So it's kind of frustrating because there's so many girls and you're filming for so long. And then when you rewatch it, you realize so much of that is cut out because you only have so much time.
Right.
So it's hard to watch it back and see how much what that you pour your heart out and that it's not even shown. So
Yeah, and I mean, there's 32 women, so they can't show them all, and the
right.
airtime's about 40 minutes, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like rushed a little bit. So,
But and here's the thing I noticed too, especially now. Like I notice a lot of these women are like in their early 20s, and I'm like, how many people are actually really ready to get married in their early 20s? Like for me, like this show should be like late 20s, early 30s. You know, somewhere around there, mid to late 20s, early 30s. But when you're bringing people in that are 22, 23 years old, it's like, come on now.
I know, I agree. I think all reality dating shows, they need to up their age a little bit. I feel like it, it would people would take it a little more seriously because you're right. Who's really truly ready to settle down at 21, 22? I don't know. I mean, it can happen, but yeah, I completely agree. And that's what I did truly love about the casting with Farmer Wants Wife. I never thought I would get casted, but I did like that they, at least with my farm, we were a little bit older. Of course, it didn't work out, but it was nice that I feel like we had a really mature, like all the girls, we all truly got along and became friends through it all. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. Let's bump up the age a little bit.
yeah, definitely, and I mean, Ty was I think 42, so he was a bit older than normal for this as well. So,
Yeah, that was kind of cool. So I would have never been on it had it not been for Ty being casted. So at that age, so I'm glad. I think there needs to be more of that out there. I agree.
now, can you tell us how each of these women kind of end up on these farms? Like, how do they get assigned to a specific farmer?
It is true that you get sent, it's literally you get an email. And originally, you have maybe six farmers or more, and you rate them and why you like them, and you rate your top farmer from your first pick all the way down to whatever, how many, six or more, because they still have, more than four guys for you. So you choose, and then once you get further along in the process, you get another email, and it may have less farmers. And then you pick again, okay, who's my favorite? Who's my top? Who would I ideally like to be picked with? But what no one understands, once you are casted, you do not know who you are truly matched with. So you actually fly out, you have no clue where you're going. You fly out, and then once you fly out, your bags are packed for, I think it was 3 months. They tell you you have to pack your bags for 3 months, two bags. And you don't know who you're being matched with, and you don't know where you're going. You're hoping you're being matched with your top farmer, right? But then you're put in a hotel room, and then you meet your producer, and then they tell you who you're matched with. And you really don't have a choice. You have to go with that farmer. It could have been your second pick, your third pick, your fourth pick, but you have to be matched with that farmer. They do try. I do think they truly try to match you with your farmer that you like, but there's some girls who get their farmer that they didn't originally pick. So yeah, it's interesting. And then you don't know where they're from. So a lot of people say like, oh, why is she upset? Or you don't even know where you're going to go. Like I had no clue I was going to the middle of Missouri with an airport that was 3 hours away. Like I had no clue until I got there. So until I got to the farm, actually,
Right.
no clue where I was going.
I mean, technically, this is a show where you're supposed to find your husband, right? Or and they're supposed to find their wives. But if they
Yeah.
they're putting girls on a farm with a dude they didn't even put in their top four people, it's like, why are you gonna do that to her if like she obviously doesn't want to marry that dude, or she would have picked him in her top four, right?
It's crazy. It's like the
yeah.
farmer lottery. You hope to get lucky there. I
Right,
don't know.
right.
So-
It's so true. So yeah, with me, I mean, the other guys were much younger, so it was kind of a given
Right.
that I would be matched with Ty. But yeah, no, some of the girls definitely they were with their like third pick. So it's very interesting. But the producers have their ways of doing it. And you know what? Two of them worked, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. They're still
Yeah.
together. And so yeah, I think they do a good job. I think they really try. But of course, if you have, 20 girls that are picking the same guy, they can't cast every girl for that guy. So they've got to even it out.
Let's see which women are DTF.
I'm DTF. Down to farm.
Okay. So they have their one-on-ones, and all the farmers are like on a bench. And how much time do they get on these one-on-ones usually? How much time did you have?
It's so fast. Oh my goodness. First of all, can I say they make you walk forever in heels. You're not allowed to wear boots. I don't care what anyone's they're like, why are they wearing heels? Okay, we would be wearing tennis shoes if we could because there's rocks. Like, do we want to wear high heels and rocks? No, but the walk to the guy takes forever and you have cameras following you and the walk is so long. They're like, keep walking, keep walking. You're just looking at the guy like, okay, I'm walking. So you walk up to them. It's like the longest walk ever. And then once you finally get to them, it's so fast. I mean, I want to say it's maybe a little over 5 minutes, if that. And it's quick, super quick. Like, you just have to kind of spit out the questions super fast. And yeah, so they call it a first date, but it's really like you're sitting there and it's just like, hi, and fast.
Right, speed dating.
Yeah, speed dating. That's the word. Yeah. Maybe a little over 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. And this season's a little interesting because we got some characters going on. Like Julia brings a photo of herself to the talk. So
I love it. I think it's so fun.
Well, the thing that killed me about her, right? Obviously she's a beautiful girl. All these women are beautiful people,
Yeah.
But she was like,
Yeah.
she brings in the picture, which is, that's great. But it's funny because he was like, this is a family show. but she was
I
saying,
know she's like, put this up. Don't forget about me.
right.
But she said she's looking the part of the farmer too. And I was like, I don't know about that because
you're
she's
wearing
got
a
a
hat.
cowboy
Yeah,
hat.
exactly.
Yeah.
But here's what killed me about her. She's like, I ain't shoveling shit. And I was like, well, then why are you doing here? Right. If you're not here to do farm work
Right.
and you're coming up farmer wants a wife, then why are you even here? Right. So
Well, maybe there's a Starbucks close by, so it evens out,
right.
Because she was asking about the Starbucks.
It's a give and take. You got Starbucks, you got,
I watch the other girls shovel the shit while I drink my Starbucks.
Now that's also a criticism that they bring, like city girls. There's not too many women that are used to the farm life, but I think that's part of the charm of the show. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's the whole point of the show, right? Like if you had these farmer girls that are so used to the farm and the nitty gritty and the getting in the dirt and shoveling everything. I mean, would that really be fun? You want to get the city girls in there. You want to get the girls that have never experienced farm life because you wouldn't have a fun TV show without it. We wouldn't be talking about it right now. So I know the girls get a lot of hate that, have their long nails, their high heels, whatever, but I love it. I think it's so much fun and it adds the dynamic. And then, you know what? The farmers find their girls. They know who they really want to be with and who's there for the right reasons in the long run. But you've got to have those girls. I mean, I love it. I was like living for some of them, like their, pink dresses and like Samantha, her little sass is already being talked about. I was like, yeah, that's good TV. I wish I had more of that.
She worries John might not meet her standards, is what she's saying.
Exactly.
I know. I was like, I need to take notes from this girl. Like, I like it.
And she says not many men do meet her standards, and she ain't gonna settle.
That's right. She's not going to settle.
She's like, because he's the one who's in law school, right?
John, yeah.
And she's like, well, you're in law school and doing all this. She's like, do you actually even work on the farm? This cat's like, he kind of sits there for a minute. He's like, yeah.
I know.
Well, he starts off even complimenting her eyes, and she even questions that.
Right. She's like, do you tell all the girls that? And he was like, no.
That girl, she is spicy.
And poor John, he's not into football either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with her on that one, right? when he said he wasn't into football, I'm like, I'm with you, girl. You gotta jump over on the other farmers at that point.
He's out.
And he didn't seem like he was going to come around on that issue either.
I know. I wonder if they'll make it through. Probably not. But I do like her. I know that she's probably not too much fun to live with, or like the girls probably are kind of, I'm sure they're getting into their little tiffs. But I like her. I like her little spunkiness. I think she adds the just a little spice to the show.
Yeah.
And I like her standards. Good for her. I mean, of course, she's like, if I don't get the first date, that's a little bit, okay, come on, Samantha. We need to calm down.
Right, exactly.
But I like her standards. I like that she said, if he doesn't meet my standards, I'm out of here. I should have done the same thing. So good for her. I like it.
That
She's not gonna back down.
Yeah, no, it was good. Well, here's the thing that I was hoping once she said that, like if he didn't pick me the first date, I was like, dude, I hope he does, just because I just want to see if she sticks to
Yeah,
her guns.
I wonder if she would
I
have.
was like, I really want to see if she sticks to her guns.
There had to be some producers kind
Oh
of
yeah,
like, hey,
exactly.
John, you better pick this girl. We need her.
Right, right.
Yeah, and I think Keeley compliments Colton's eyes, but he
Yeah,
doesn't really return the favor.
yeah,
I know. I saw that. I really like Keeley. She's
yeah.
definitely a favorite. She's adorable. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, and he says how beautifully she is after she's already walked off. So did he mess up there?
I told you he's like a Ty. He's just awkward. He doesn't know what to say. He's like, I'm so nervous. How do I talk to this girl?
Right, yeah, and that's exactly how it kind of played off the way he was acting too.
Just kind of went over his head. So poor Colton. We need to help him.
And how important is it to make a great first impression here? Because you don't get much time. This is the only opportunity you're going to have with these farmers before they start making decisions.
Oh my goodness. It's so important. You only have those couple of a few minutes with them, and then you could potentially go home. And the worst part of it is, which viewers, when you're watching the TV, and I used to be this way before I filmed, it's like, why is she crying? Like, big deal, move on. No, you are in this. You are in this for months, talking to, producers, you're getting interviewed, you're putting your whole life out there. You're packing, you're taking off work, you are doing so much to prepare for this moment to finally be casted, 32 girls out of thousands of girls. So, of course, you want to make a good impression to make it to the next, you want to get to know this person and you're there to hopefully find love. But on top of it, you've invested so much time. So, it's heartbreaking. So it's so important to make a good impression with your farmer so that you can hopefully move on, continue the process, get to know that person. And it is so nerve-wracking when you're standing there by those big barrels and the lights turn down and you're waiting for your name to be called. I mean, it's terrible.
I bet.
It's awful. You're just, and it's like, no wonder girls get emotional and cry. And even I did when I left too, when I decided to leave, because it's heartbreaking to walk away from such a big journey that you've prepared for. So,
Yeah, I don't think many people think about that aspect.
Yeah.
So
What? And one thing I noticed too, like during the speed dating, like some dudes were like sitting out in the middle of the sun, so the girls had to go out and just sit in the sun with no cover. And then like Jay was sitting in that like nice shaded
Yep.
area, I was like, man, I'd be wondering to see where Jay's at.
no, that's so true. Some people get way better spots where it's covered and
Oh
nice,
yeah,
and some people are like, oh, I'm dying in the sun.
And now some people resort to gimmicks. Did you think about using any kind of gimmick? Like people are bringing scarves, alcohol, some are singing.
guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. If I knew, I would have brought my bow and arrow. I love archery.
Oh,
I
nice.
do, yeah, I would have done something like, like something cute with that, like, bullseye or like, I don't know, something cheesy. But no, they never told us we could bring anything. I like that they added that this season. I feel like that was kind of a new thing. So,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that definitely was a nice touch. And not everyone did it, but it was kind of cool for the ones that
Right.
did,
and the girl with the country singer, that was brave of her to sing. I was like, I could not do that. Play the guitar and sing like when you first meet somebody. That was cute.
And then there's another person. What was her name? Halleh or something like that. She
Oh yeah,
doesn't seem here to make friends, and she's here to take home the prize. Is the
that's
attitude I
right.
got from her.
Oh, yes. Yes. She's feisty. Yeah. She's in it to win it. Oh my goodness. She's gonna, woo. Yeah. Good luck to those girls. Good luck to the girl sharing a bunk with her.
Right, no kidding.
We do see Farmer John ask one of the women about kids. So
Mhm.
that's kind of nice to see, like, someone talk about that very early on
Right,
instead of
exactly.
waiting later on in the show to get to that.
Well, I was asked about it very first, but it never aired. So that was kind of a missing puzzle piece. But um, Yeah, it wasn't ever aired, but I did talk about kids right up front. So, yeah, but not that's not even on, not to switch it over to my season, but that's not even on Ty. I think he should have been casted with girls that didn't want kids,
Right,
but
exactly.
clearly we all wanted kids.
Hmm.
So it made it really difficult for our season. But, either I'm grateful he was casted because I would have never been casted or had the experience or met my best friend Brooke.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and on
mean,
your season, like when you had the one-on-one date at Lambert's, which seemed like a really cool restaurant,
yeah,
he did say that he said initially that he was open to kids, and then it seemed like
Yes,
that was questionable that came out during that date.
right.
So,
I know that I was very confused.
yeah, and you could just see it like that. That
Yeah.
looked like it took like the wind out of yourselves, and it's very unfortunate. So,
Yeah, a lot was taken out. We had a lot of conversation. He's very, very reserved, so it was very hard to kind of pull things out of him. So it was just hard to sit there with him. Like, I remember a time where I looked at the producers, I was like, is he going to talk to me? Or am I just going to sit here? Am I like, is he going to ask me a question? Does he even care he's on a date with me right now? I mean, that's how I felt, and that's terrible. And looking back, and I'm such a different person now from a year ago, even. I look back at my poor self and I'm like, Amy, you should have walked up and just left. And I definitely had that in mind. He just didn't appreciate, I mean, he was nice to me, whatever, but he could have asked me more questions about myself. It wasn't just about him. It was about me too.
Right.
What about my life? What do I do? What do I see in my life? And I felt like I was like pulling teeth trying to get to know this guy, and that's not who I am. I don't do that on dates. So
right.
I think he was just reserved because he didn't want to tell me, look, I don't want kids, you need to go home. I don't know, but he was it was hard. It was really hard to talk to him. There was a lot of silence. And so when you're filming with somebody who doesn't seem like they want to get to know you, it's hard for me to be myself and bring out myself when I'm just sitting there kind of like, all right, like, does he even want to talk to me? So yeah. But we did have some fun moments beyond our date, beyond that, that were funny. We had a lot of fun together. We laughed. It wasn't really shown, but yeah, but we did have some good times together.
Yeah, but I mean, you brought up a good point, because they've had single moms on the show before. So, like, guys like Ty, guys like Colton, why aren't they putting the single moms with them, right? Because they've got kids already, they've got kids, and
Yeah, that'd have been good.
yeah, and I don't understand why they're not doing that, and I did like how Colton, when Mackenzie came out, she's very young, 22, and it's one of the things he said. He's like, she's great, she's bubbly, she's beautiful, but I just don't know if she's mature enough, to deal with my son, and it's good that he was thinking about that, right?
I respect that. That's super important. And I respect that with Ty too. It's just like maybe he was matched with women that, maybe he wanted the women that just didn't want kids.
Well, it
And
seemed that way.
yeah, yeah. So it made it hard.
Well, that was even an issue down the line with him, like near the end. So it would have been nice if they were able to flesh that out like early on and
Right,
pair him up
exactly.
with people that, were like-minded in that. So,
Yes, I agree.
but it's decision time for these women. They got 8 on each farm. They got to narrow it down to 5. So 3 women get let go here.
I know. That's sad. I hate that. I hated it when it happened for our farm too, because great girls get let go, and I saw in this season, I'm blanking on their names, but so many beautiful girls. I love the one girl that said, "Look, no, right now is a future, yes, from God," and I just really love that about her. Like
Hmm.
she was so strong, and of course the tears come because you put so much into it. You tell your whole family you're leaving for possibly 3 months, and you're putting your whole heart out there. And your whole life, you're telling your story to strangers, and you literally are just dropping yourself into a bubble of you don't know anyone when you show up there. You don't know anyone. And these girls are really brave. So, yeah, even the ones that have to go home, super, super brave to get that far. It takes a lot.
Yeah, you always feel sorry for him, and like you said, that one, yeah, I can't remember her name either, but she handled it very well. I thought that was very good, response in front of the camera there, and I was like, man, she's awesome. So I was like, man, I hope she does find herself, her good guy, because she seems a very, nice, good, deserving person.
Now, what do you think of the chances of like knowing immediately that this is your one? Because Sydney and Mitchell hit it off pretty good, and Taylar and what was the other guy? Nathan did as well. So
I think there's good chances. I think it can work. I do think that Sydney and Mitchell, I think they really did have true sparks when they first met. They have so much in common, and they felt that spark. Same with Nathan and Taylar. I do. I think it can work. I think that the producers, as much as they maybe purposely could mismatch, they do try to find true love in this show. And that's what I love about this show. It's why I applied for it. And yeah, it can work. It has worked clearly. And there's lots of marriages that have come from it. So
And
yeah.
kids.
And kids. Yes, lots of kids. So it's so cool. I love that it is a more family oriented show.
yeah, I definitely love that aspect.
Yeah, but I do think it can work. I think that there can be that initial spark and it can work. You can just know that that's your person.
Now, John does end up choosing Samantha as the final lady for his farm.
Well, and even she, and the way he did it too, though, she was like, "Yeah, that was kind of smart of him." She's like, "Smart of him to do it that way." When he was like, "Yeah, this last person, somebody I've got to try to figure out," and
she made the comment like, "He's smarter than I thought he was,"
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that. I was like, "Wow, she's really interesting."
Mhm.
I like her. She said, "Oh, he said I'm a challenge, but I'm used to that."
Right.
Yeah, and I can't tell if this is like very playful, flirty banter, like a good thing, or it's heading to like a train wreck in the end.
Right, right,
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a train wreck, but it'll be fun to watch.
right. Yeah, it will be exactly. And I'm curious how long or how well or unwell she's gonna get along with all the other girls in that house. How that
Oh,
plays
it's
out.
going to be a disaster. It's like a producer's dream.
Oh
She's
yeah.
amazing. I mean, she's a little much. It's not, I wouldn't want to be that extreme, and I definitely wouldn't be kind of snippy and bratty to the girls, but like I said, I like that she's holding her own. I like that she's standing up for herself, and I wish I would have done that. And me, if I would be casted now, I would be a little bit more like her.
Well, and the difference is, I mean, she's had 2 seasons to watch and kind of know how it plays out, so she can, have the opportunity to go in there with that kind of good, more harder attitude. Whereas you don't had 1 season before you, and so it's still kind of relatively new. So
And I mean, we see
That
some other
is
people
true.
get chosen: Keeley, Chelsi, and Julia. So like some interesting characters are making it to the next round or onto the farm,
Yeah.
as we say. So
Yeah, and Grace was really cute with
Yep.
Jay.
hmm
So cute. They had nothing to say to each other, yet
Right.
sparks were
Yeah.
flying. It was adorable.
when she even said that, she was like, "I'm just such like basically an introvert, and I'm kind of shy, so I was surprised he chose me." And so I'm rooting for her. I like her.
Yeah, I liked
she was
her
very
probably
sweet.
the most on his farm.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Now, for the people who don't get chosen, are they just like whisked away, or is there more to it that we don't see there?
So yeah, pretty much. It's so sad. And actually, so we're all kind of waiting in this kind of holding room. It's like a big room. We're all together, and we're kind of just waiting to go film, but you're seeing who comes back and who doesn't. And it's heartbreaking because you're with these girls for a full day, like 24 hours in a room. So you do get to know everybody. You're talking to them, getting to know them. And so when you see them leave, it's so hard. Yeah, they get whisked away. You go into like a big van, or what are those called? I don't know, those big
SUV or
vans,
something.
whatever. Yeah, SUV. They're like nice, but you get taken into one, you get sent to your hotel, and you literally get flown out the next day. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's quick. It's super quick. Even for me, even though I decided to leave, it was so fast. They literally just had a flight for me. I packed up all my stuff. The girls at my farm just threw all my stuff in all my suitcase and just flew me out. And I left a lot of stuff actually, but it was nice. They mailed it all back to me. So,
Oh, nice.
but it's quick.
Now, are any of these women getting chosen because they'd be good for the show more than there's love in the air? Like they're like, Samantha's an interesting character. We want to see how this is. So
You
do
gotta
the
choose her.
producers put that on him?
Oh, you know they do.
Of course they do. I mean, do you remember Melody
Oh
getting
yeah.
matched with
hmm
Ty for the
Mm-hmm.
first one-on-one date? Like, that's TV. And I mean, that was so fun. That was such a fun date to watch because they're so opposite and she's so much fun. And had they put me on the first date with Ty, we would have been so quiet and awkward. They know that. So, of course, it's TV.
So this is following the same formula as last season. It's time to pick a solo date. And Matt picks Jordyn, Jay picks Grace, which I think is great.
hmm
John,
Yeah.
Samantha for the first solo date, and she did threaten to walk off. She didn't get it, but she got it, so we'll never know. And then Colton picks
Yeah.
Bailee. Now, how important is this first date? Does that give a woman advantage, or are one of these guys like, hey, I'm thinking about sending this woman home, so maybe I'll choose her to see if there is something. If not, then she's gone.
Well, even when I filmed, the producers actually gave me a one-on-one where I was filming. It didn't get aired, and they said, "Are you upset that Melody got the one-on-one?" I said, "No, absolutely not. It could be a disadvantage." So, here he's immediately getting to know somebody. It could be where, like, whoa, I'm with this girl for 24 hours. They actually don't really stay the night, but they're with them all day long. And it could be a disadvantage. They could see things where maybe once all the girls come in, the guy, like, I think it's much tougher. This is what, okay, I'm all over, but for instance, for Melody, she had the one-on-one. So as all the other girls came back onto the farm and he's getting to know all of us, but they had their special one-on-one, it made it tougher for her. And the longer she had to wait for her time with Ty because he was getting more one-on-ones with other girls. So it actually can be such a disadvantage to get that first one-on-one because then you may wait really long until you have your last one-on-one with the
Yeah, that's a good
farmer,
point.
or it's hard when you sit there and see him connect with other girls when you've had the first date. It's extremely difficult when you've been there with just him and there's no girls around, and then four more girls come in. That's hard.
And I think it took Sydney a while to get her one-on-one.
Yes, I was thinking of that with Sydney. It took her a long time, but you can see how it worked in her favor. It's like he was saving the best for last.
And one thing I do appreciate about the show, though, is during the speed rounds, when all the girls are standing there. I mean, it's a two-way street. Like the girl could say no. She
Yeah.
like, no, I don't think the speed date went well, so I'm not going to come to your farm. So I like how they have that aspect there. I don't think we've only seen it happen like once.
Well, I think with Brandon, I think last season was kind of stressing about that. So
Yeah.
you just never know. And
Yeah.
as we saw, like Amy walked off the show, so women can choose
Right,
to leave
exactly.
at any time too. So.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And it was emotional. It was hard to leave because I was even, what you don't see, they were planning my hometown visit because I was expected to be in the hometown. So I called my family. I said, Ty's going to visit. You write out how you want your date to be in your hometown. And it's so exciting. And it's like, oh my gosh, my parents, my family get to be on film. You're preparing for the next mixer. You're literally getting clothes for it. So it was sad to leave because I was gaining huge friendships with the girls and just kind of in this filming bubble. But to talk to Ty and just hear his truth, it was really heartbreaking. Like, okay, I cannot, like, yes, I could have kept filming and, just had fun. But when he said, look, I absolutely cannot have kids, like, I couldn't just stay there. So it's like so many emotions arise because I was expecting to stay longer and have more fun and have my hometowns and but I did decide to leave because I can't go against what I'm ultimately looking for in a person and what he's looking for. If I'm not that match, I don't want to stay there.
And when you talked about that with Samantha, how how you were impressed how she was sticking to her guns, saying I know what I want, and this and that. I mean, ultimately you did the same thing. You didn't just stick it out just for the sake of sticking it out. You stuck to your gun and said, look, I want kids, so if that ain't part of the cards here, then I'm out.
Which I look back, it's actually really hard. I've never watched it again. I've never been able to go back and watch Farmer Wants a Wife because I just feel like I'm such a different person from when I filmed. And, people will still come up to me and say, "Oh, I was so sad when you cried." But I said, my crying was a lot because I didn't want to leave the girls the experience because I was putting my whole self out there. And there was so much more I did put out on film that didn't get aired. And so you're just so filled with so many emotions. You're so vulnerable. And when that time ends, that time of this whole experience, when it comes to a final close, like the curtain closes, it's so emotional. So it's not, people say, "Oh, I'm so sorry it didn't work out between you and Ty." And I'm like, it's so much more than that. My emotions were beyond, just my relationship with Ty.
Right.
So
And then we get a teaser of what's to come. It seems kind of more of what we normally expect. Probably some back of the pickup truck dates and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yes, I love it.
but would there be anything you would want to change or see different done this season compared to the past ones?
I think I see so many of the fans saying that they wish that there was more time. I do agree. I think there's just so many farmers, so many girls. It's kind of like, even when I was watching the first episode, I was taking notes really fast because I'm like, oh my gosh. I do wish it was longer. I love the show. I love everything about it. They do such a great job with the scenery, the dates. It's so cute. But I would like to get to know the girls a little bit better. I think that we just need more time. We need more time, like maybe less farmers and get to know everyone more, or more time with all the same cast. But otherwise, no, I think it's so fun. I was excited to watch it. It looks like such a fun season. I'm definitely going to be tuned in, and I'm excited. Like when they showed the trailer for the next episode, I'm like, oh, I'm totally hooked. It looks so cute, and yeah, they do a good job. It's very wholesome, and it is real. A lot of it is real. So even filming it, from my experience, now watching it, I feel those emotions again, and I know how real it is. So, yes, it's TV. Yes, some of it is, they pull apart little clips that they just want. Like for me, they made me look super shy and quiet and like I was upset. And there were so many moments where that's not really who I am. But all of that you see on TV is real. It really is. So I'm excited to see what happens and who falls in love. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the season. That's for sure.
Yeah, I thought this first episode was great. I love the wholesomeness. It's a lot different from other shows. Not too many people are going that route, so it's nice to see, that they do that. So
Yeah, well, thank you very
Me
much for joining us,
too.
Amy. This has been awesome.
Well, thank you both. It's so fun to talk to you. It's so nice to revisit that time in my life. It feels like it was ages ago. So thank you so much for thinking of me and having me. And you guys are wonderful.
Well, there you have it, folks. That is season 3, episode 1 of Farmer Wants a Wife. Amy, again, thank you for joining us. Hey, we love talking with you guys. We love hearing your guys' thoughts on the show, your thoughts on the cast members. And, hit us up on the chat there and we'll talk with you. And until next time, we'll check you at our next review.